Hello everyone. I am so excited to be here with you on my page, Miss Tracy Creates. And we're going to be making some Christmas projects today, which are so much fun. Really been excited about this one. I love Christmas. I actually wore this shirt yesterday for a couple of lives and I was like, well, I have to wear it again today. I promise I'll wash it. But I'm really excited because I am a girl that loves Christmas and I love to do Christmas crafting and it's just always so much fun. Hello everyone. Hello. Hi Jamie. Hi Nancy. Oh, it's good to see all of you watching today. I hope that you're excited. I'm curious how many of you are going to be crafting along with me today. This is going to be fun. I'm going to try to make sure that I don't have lipstick on my teeth. I did a live this morning and at the end I realized I had lipstick all over my front teeth. Hello. So excited to have y'all watching today. Well, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing. All the projects that I'm making today in this free online workshop are going to be from our, I call it It's Christmas, a little mini Christmas napkin bundle. Super cute little napkin bundle. These are still available if anybody wants to order one. Order a set. It's $6. And I'll show you real quickly what you get in this cute little napkin set. You're gonna get this adorable reindeer, and I love him because he's made out of birch logs. I think he's so cute. So you're gonna get that napkin. You're gonna get this napkin, which I think is so pretty. There's the poinsettia side, but look, you also get candy canes. So today I may do the opposite side. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. You'll also get the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas napkin. This cute little Merry Christmas napkin. This beautiful tree. Love this tree. This tree was part of our napkin club bundle, and I mean, we just all have fallen in love with creating with it. So pretty. And of course, a fun red truck. I mean, you know, I'm still on the red truck kick. I still think trucks are so cute and so fun to work with. So we have this really super cute napkin to work with here as well. So that is the It's Christmas mini napkin bundle. Now those are still available, and in a few minutes Kristen will probably be on and she'll post some links for some of this stuff that I'm going to be showing you. And that way if you want to purchase some of these things, or maybe you want to watch the workshop today first and decide, you know, which items that you really like and you want to recreate. But everything is using this little napkin bundle, okay? I do have some surfaces we're going to be playing with today too. The surfaces that are great for these kinds of projects are going to be canvases, wood blocks, little wood, it could be a wood shadow box, it could be anything like that. So I'm using a 6x6 chunky. The chunky ones are the wider ones, 6x6 chunky canvas, which those you can find at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and now Walmart carries a 6x6 as well. So they're all over. You can find these pretty easily. And then as far as the wood blocks go, those you can get from us. We actually have a vendor that we work with for these. And these are great, y'all, because they're not too heavy like a regular 2x4 would be. They're not too heavy. They're already pre-sanded and they're gorgeous. So I'm using a 4x6, a 4x4, and then I have a couple of 4x3s that I'm going to play with today just to give you some ideas on what you can do with them. And then I'm going to also be showing you our little Christmas house project, which looks like this. Isn't it darling? Now this particular project we actually sell as a kit itself. So it's part of our house series. We have a whole little series of houses that we're making. And if you wanted to purchase this one as a kit, like a standalone kit by itself, you can do that. And like I said, she's kind of closing down the store side of the studio here, so she'll be on in a few minutes and she can post a link to this if anybody's interested. They're so cute, adorable. So you're going to learn how to make this one today. I have another one too that I'm not going to show today, but I am going to be showing possibly tomorrow or Monday, and it's our Holy Night house, and it's gorgeous as well. Okay, hi everybody. All right, I think we've got a lot of people signed on and watching, so that is fabulous. This is what the little house blocks look like before they're decorated, and we do sell these by themselves as well. We are currently completely out, but we have more being cut as I speak. So next week we'll have plenty more of our little house blocks here for you. And then one of my projects I used a little 5x5 canvas for, but I'm going to show, when I make it today, I'm going to show it using a little shadow box. We started carrying these little shadow boxes. We have a lot of rectangles, some different shapes, and they've been so fun to purchase and to make because they're really great for little shelf sitters, or it could be an ornament, or just all kinds of things. So I'm going to kind of pan the camera around here just a little bit. You ready? Okay, hang on. I gotta stand up to do this. I'm gonna turn this around so that you can see kind of the little display that I have set up here. And this is gonna show you all the things that we're gonna be making today. It's gonna be so much fun. So I'm gonna give you some ideas for some napkin techniques, of course, some adding dimension to some of your pieces. It's going to be great fun. We're going to have a great time. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you, y'all. That's so sweet of you. Let me kind of adjust back here. I want to make sure you can see our work surface area right here very well. Okay, that should do it. So hello, everyone. While you're signing on, I would love to see where you're from. So just say hey and, tell me where you're watching from today. I'd love to see that. I'm going to start off today's workshop by doing a little bit of painting, okay? Just a little bit of painting, not too much today. But I like to get the painted stuff out of the way first, okay? So let's see. One of these are already pre-painted, so we don't have to mess with that. So I'm going to start with this one. This is the truck canvas, which is just so cute. Yes, thank you for sprinkling. I haven't even asked you to sprinkle yet. I would love it if you would sprinkle out this video, sprinkle out this Facebook Live, and I always like to reward my sprinklers. Call you my little sprinklers. So if you sprinkle out today, okay, if you sprinkle out today, I'm going to give 2 people and one of my mini napkin bundles. I'm going to give them away as a prize, okay? I keep seeing all the notifications coming through. This is awesome. I'm so glad we have so many of you watching. So if you want to sprinkle this out, I would really appreciate it. And then when it's all said and done, probably let's say tonight, how about I come back on tonight about 7 o'clock and I announce the winners? How about that? I have a fun little app that helps me collect all of you that sprinkle, and then it will just randomly shoot me out a couple of names. Okay, so I'm going to start painting my canvas here, and I'm painting it out this really pretty green. Now, I like to use chalk and mineral-based paints, and the paints that I carry here at my studio are from Country Chic Paint. They are fabulous. They work so well. And I don't want you to feel like you have to do super great coverage on these. I kind of like the white canvas kind of showing through just a little bit in places. I think it's kind of fun. This color, y'all, is an interesting name, okay? The color for this one, I'll show it to you here. It's actually called Fireworks. I don't know why. I'm not sure why. It's called Fireworks. It's just a really pretty green, but you could use any green that you have. You can use anything. I also have a couple other colors here that I really like. This one is called Hollow Hill. Isn't that a pretty green right there? And then if you want to go a little brighter, this one is called Rustic Charm. Isn't that pretty? That one's a pretty one too. So lots of options there. And you may even have some green paint of your own already in your stash that you can use on your canvas. So I'm just going to very quickly here kind of give this a coat of paint. Now, I'm not going to put this color on the top, okay? It's not going here because my napkin that's going to go there is the truck. Hang on, I'll grab it for you here and show you in just a second. So the truck napkin, if I were to paint green behind it, okay, if I had green paint behind where the truck napkin's going to go, it wouldn't look very good because everything would be tinted green, okay? Now, it's okay if you get a little bit on this top edge, and you'll understand why here in just a little bit, okay? So don't worry if you get a little bit around the edges like I am. That's okay. You don't have to like tape it off or anything like that. Don't worry about that. And I'm just going to quickly paint this out. And like I said, it doesn't have to be super great coverage. I kind of like seeing a little bit of the white kind of showing through. Very, very cute. And you'll see that, yes, I have a little bit on 3 sides, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more on that side. Just a teeny bit around these edges, okay? But this part of the canvas, I'm going to leave white. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this up. Thank you so much for sprinkling, girls. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I love doing these free online workshops for you. It's so fun. Normally I would be having workshops in my studio, but because of the pandemic, we can't do that right now. So it's kind of fun to do it online because I can share it with so many more of you than I could ever possibly fit in my studio. So just want to get that dry. Won't take long here. Usually dries pretty darn fast. Scoot this paint out of the way. And let me grab my napkin. So this is what I was talking about. Do you see all of this it's got kind of like an off-white, kind of a creamy background. Because napkins are so sheer, once you separate them, that green would be showing through that. So it's good. It's important to keep this part white. So let me go ahead and cut this napkin in half. And as you're watching me do these projects today, I want you to know that this is to give you a little sampling of the kinds of things that we do in my napkin club. I have a napkin club, and it's just called the Napkin Club because that's what it is. It's the Napkin Club, and it is the napkin club to be in. We have such a great time in the club every month. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. So this napkin, you're going to get 2 of these. And then on the other part of the napkin, it doesn't have the words, it just has the red truck. But I like this. Like, this would be really cute on an ornament or something, or in a shadow box. I think it's really adorable. So we're going to post a link so that you'll have information to learn more about the Napkin Club if you would like to join us. We have such a good time. Now I'm going to use what I call my lick and stick method to separate this napkin. And it's very easy. It's just this. 2 fingers on your tongue and just kind of press out like that. And then what I did is I just kind of pressed them together, and then they just kind of grab both sides of the napkin. You'll see me do it several times today during our workshop. So this napkin is only 2-ply, which is great. That means I only have to take off 1 extra ply. But the majority of napkins, y'all, they're usually 3-ply, so you have to take off 2. And it is so important to take off that second, take off all those layers, okay? Because if you don't, the minute that you go to decoupage your napkin onto the surface, whatever surface you're using, that top layer is going to release. And it just kind of turns into a mess. Now, if that ever happens to you, I want you to know that you're not, don't toss the project. Just dry it and sand it all off and start over again. Just sand it off and you can start from scratch all over again. What I'm doing is I'm cutting away this red and green border off of this napkin. I'm cutting it away, okay? I really just want this portion of the napkin for my canvas. Hi everybody, hi Janie. I see some of my Napkin Club members watching, that's awesome. Need to make sure, will you make sure that this gets shared over into the Napkin Club too? Kristen's helping me today, she's across the table here. Okay, awesome. So now I'm going to attach this adorable truck napkin to the front of this 6x6 chunky canvas, okay? And I'm going to be using Mod Podge matte. I really like Mod Podge. It works great for some surfaces, not all. And if you're in the Napkin Club, you're going to learn about lots of different surfaces and the best practices and best mediums to use for those surfaces. But for today, everything we're doing will be great to be using Mod Podge. Make sure you're using the Mod Podge matte, which is has the yellow label. That is my favorite. And the main reason it's my favorite is because I just love the finish on it when it dries. I like the matte finish. It's not too glossy. Pour some out on a plate here. And it doesn't remain sticky like the glossy Mod Podge does. You can kind of touch it and it feels tacky or sticky. The matte doesn't do that, and so I really, really like using this Mod Podge. Okay, are we ready? Thank you for sprinkling, Sharon. Thank you. Y'all are awesome. Yeah, the lick and stick works great. It works great for me. Now, if it doesn't work well for you, you could even use like a little straight head pin and kind of pick at a corner to separate your napkins. Use a washi tape or a painter's tape helps to kind of separate them sometimes. So there's lots of different ways that you can do that if you get like a stubborn one that you're having trouble with, okay? But I just go for the lick and stick method. It just works for me. Okay, so I'm going to now put a coat of Mod Podge on top of this canvas. And I want you to put a healthy coat, what I consider a healthy coat, which means not too thin. Don't want it to be too thin. We want to make sure that it's really good and wet, but it doesn't have to be like dripping. You don't want it like flooded. So just a nice healthy coat. I'm not worrying about the sides right now. And I'm gonna layer my napkin right kind of in the center here. Now you're gonna see like parts of this canvas that are still white and some are still green, but again, don't worry about that. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do about that here in just a second. So I'm gonna use my fingers just to kind of tap in place. Be very careful, those of you that are new to napkinizing, be very careful because your instinct is gonna tell you to just start smoothing with your hand. And you don't wanna do that because girls, the tissue's really fragile when it's wet and it could tear. It could tear really easily. So this is my advice to you. I want you to grab a chip brush. This is just a natural bristle brush. Chip brush, we sell these, I think they're like 75 cents and 95 cents or something like that. We have two different sizes. And you're gonna take this brush now dry, nothing on it. And you're going to pounce, and you're gonna pounce up and down. And I'm pouncing fairly hard. Like don't be just real polite with it. Really, really pounce because this is gonna push down all of your wrinkles, bubbles, crinkles, you know, all of that on this napkin. We're really pushing it down into the texture of the canvas. It looks great. So I'm going to hold it up close for you because I want you to, hopefully you can kind of see how well that is. Every once in a while you're still going to get maybe a little wrinkle here or there, but as long as you're pressing that down, as long as you're really pouncing those wrinkles down, it just adds a little extra texture to your background. We just don't want any air behind those wrinkles, right? We don't want air bubbles or anything like that. So just really get after it and pounce, 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 pounce. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna dry it just a little bit. Now, if you have a heat tool, that's great. You can use a heat tool. If you have a blow dryer, you can use a blow dryer on its like hot setting. If you don't have anything, then you can just be patient. You have to just be patient and let them dry a little bit. I am probably the world's most impatient crafter, so I like to use my little Ranger heat tool. It just works great. It's not too loud, and it just helps kind of speed the process along. So I'm going to dry at this a little bit. Really takes no time at all. And when that kind of clammy cold feeling is gone, then you know that you're fine to move on. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna seal this napkin. We're gonna seal it. And this is important because, and I'm gonna ask, this is gonna be a pop quiz for all my Napkin Club members that are out there watching right now. What is a napkin's purpose in life? I want you to answer in the comments, because you know, or at least I hope you know by now, what is a napkin's purpose in life? Post your answers in the comments while I coat this guy up. This doesn't have to be a super thick coat, just a nice thin, even coat. That's right, here come the answers. A napkin's purpose in life is to absorb. To absorb. So it's important that we seal anything we ever napkinize. And girls, that's my word for it, napkinize. Anything we alter with a napkin, we're napkinizing. And I'm really hoping one day it goes into the crafty dictionary, and I hope I get credit for it. So I've been doing this napkin art for a long time. Okay. So it's going to look kind of milky when it first goes on, okay? But I promise you it's gonna dry crystal clear. Don't make it real thick. And if you get a big glob, take your paintbrush through it and brush the globs back out, okay? So it should just be nice and thin, and it's gonna dry completely clear. So by sealing your napkin, this is what's happening. Yeah, y'all are so smart. Y'all are so good. You've learned so good. We're protecting it. So if somebody comes along and there might be a spill or something gets on it, you can easily still clean it, okay? Otherwise the napkin would have absorbed whatever spilt on it. The other reason is that top coat helps your napkin to become even more transparent. And that's going to be important, especially with a couple of our other projects here that we're going to do today. So it's nice. I like it when the napkins just kind of melt into the projects or the surfaces that we're putting them on, and that really, really helps. So he's got his coat of Mod Podge, and you'll see, I mean, it's kind of milky right now, and it is going to dry well on its own. So I can use my heat tool. Okay, I want to make sure y'all know this. I can use my heat tool. But girls, I don't choose to use it until I see that the Mod Podge is starting to turn clear, okay? Because sometimes when you put heat to the Mod Podge too early, it can kind of get gummy, okay? It can kind of get gummy, and we don't want that. So I usually just let it sit for a minute. I'll like paint something else, and that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm just gonna get something else painted here, and then I can go back in and speed up the rest of the process with my heat tool, okay? So the next thing I'm going to paint is actually going to be this. I'm going to show you this.
Could you ask if you are trimming the napkin?
Yes, I did trim the napkin down. Yes, thank you for letting me know that. I'm trying to watch for your questions, but it's easy for me to miss them, so Kristen's going to help me if I miss them. Yes, on that napkin, do you see how I trimmed it down? I took off this green border, so I did trim it down just a little bit because I just didn't, because this border wasn't on all four sides, I just didn't want it. So I took that part off, okay? So you're gonna be able to see, and we'll talk about this in a minute once this dries, but you'll be able to see you can see the green paint kind of coming through, but don't worry about that. We're gonna fix that here in just a little bit. Okay, let me move that napkin out of the way for a moment. So, and I'm going to talk to you about this project. So this little project, so cute. I love this napkin. I had to have this napkin when I saw this because I really love plaid. I think plaid is so cute, and especially red and black with the whole buffalo check, buffalo plaid kind of look. But when I saw that this snowman was plaid and this deer was plaid, I was like, oh my goodness, that is precious and I have to have it. I am mad for plaid. I think it's so cute. So this is a cocktail size napkin, which is a smaller napkin, like a beverage size napkin. It's roughly about 5 by 5 inches. And that's sometimes kind of a hard size to find things for. Sometimes I'll use a 4 by 4 and I'll cut them down. But this is something that's really, really easy to find. And it's just a 5 by 5 canvas. Now I'm going to show it to you. It's a regular size canvas. It's not a thick or a chunky. I haven't put anything on the back of them yet, just so I could show you what they are. But it's just a regular canvas, a regular 5 by 5 canvas. I picked this one up at Hobby Lobby. You can find these anywhere that sells canvases. So a regular 5 by 5 is great. And because they're thin, and I also put some fun stuff around this one, I want to show you, if you do happen to be there picking up a canvas, they also have these cute little mini wooden easels, and I think they're just precious. So don't ever stress if you can't find like a chunky size of something. Go ahead and get a regular 6 by 6 or a regular 5 by 5 and pick up, they sell these little mini easels in like natural black. I think I only saw natural and black, but I think there's like 3 or 4 in the package. Very affordable. And I mean, look how cute this is. So then you can just prop your project. I'm going to kind of hold it up. You can prop your project on the little easel, and it's just adorable. And I also like that it raises it up a little bit. So I think that's really, really cute. So this one, this napkin, for this sample, I did it on a 5 by 5 canvas. And I've got the little easel there for it. And then today, I thought I would show you on a shadow box, okay? So if you wanted to create something on a shadow box, this shadow box is also 5 by 5. However, it's 5 by 5 on the outside edge, which means it's a little bit smaller on the inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint this up really quick here. Let me grab another paintbrush. And I'm just going to be putting white on this, okay? So I'm just gonna put a real quick coat of white. This color is, if you're using our Country Chic paints, this color is called Simplicity. It's a beautiful, it's the pure white. It's a very pure white. Perfect for Christmas, perfect for snow. Anything that you want. And because this little cute little cabin, this cute little house is set in a snowy background, I wanted it to be white. I'm not going to worry about the backs right now. I can always go in. I don't actually usually paint the backs. Usually what I do on the backs of my projects, girls, is I'll add like some cute paper or some cute fabric or something, just so they look finished out. Okay, so I'm just painting around these sides. I love this paint because, again, one coat usually does it. You really don't need to have 2 coats. I kind of like the shabbiness of it. I'm okay if a little bit, actually this is covering really, really well. So I don't see any wood coming through it, but sometimes if it's a color, like the green, when we were putting the green on the white canvas, sometimes you can see the color coming through a little bit. So we have been selling these little shadow boxes like crazy because we made some adorable, cute ornaments out of them in the Napkin Club. We still have a lot of rectangles left, and we are on, we are trying to get in more of, there's a square and a hexagon. Yeah. So as soon as we're able to get more of some other sizes, I will definitely post and let y'all know. But keep in mind, my original one was on a canvas, so this could be a really easily be a little canvas. No problem there. Okay, so I'm just kind of painting that whole thing out. Better keep that brush over here so I don't get it confused with my Mod Podge brush. How much is the Napkin Club? The Napkin Club is $22 a month. And this is kind of what that covers, okay? You will get, that's also including your shipping. So I want to make sure you know that. Every month I hand curate a unique bundle. And right now the bundle that we have going out is December. So if you were to sign up now, you would get the December bundle. We're shipping them right now. And it's called Winter Wonderland. So it has lots of snowmen and it's just adorable, really, really cute bundle. And so every month then we ship you a bundle of napkins. And so this is such a great solution because for those of us that have gotten really addicted to napkin crafting or napkin art, it's really frustrating when you go out and about and you find a napkin that you really love, but you have to buy a pack of 40 or you have to buy a pack of 24 or 18 or whatever when you really don't need that many, right? So the Napkin Club is a great solution for that because you get one napkin of each, and usually there's like 13 to 15 napkins. It just depends. Sometimes napkins cost more if there's more luncheon size than the cocktail size or whatever. So it's usually 13 to 15 napkins in a bundle every month, and they're all unique. So just imagine if you had to go out and buy, 13 to 15 large packages of napkins, and you'd have all this waste. So it's really, really a great thing, and it's so fun to get the Happy Mail every month and to get your napkin bundle. The other thing that's fun about it is if you're a Napkin Club member, we put you into our private group. We have a private group here on Facebook, and it's our own private hangout. And we have so much fun in there. And that's where I share like the workshops. I share all of my workshops and my technique videos. I go live in that group once a week and we just have the best time. It is a great group, a great community of makers. And they are so talented in there, so creative and talented. And they're always sharing pictures of their projects. So, I mean, I get inspired by the community, all of the awesome gals that are in there. I think even more than I inspire them. I love to see what they do with the techniques that I show them. So I'm having to cut this napkin down a little bit. I gotta cut it down just a little bit to get it to fit inside of here. So let's see. Okay, I'm pretty good there and there, so I just need to take off a little bit on the sides. You can, if you're a paper crafter, you can trim your napkins in your paper trimmers. But I just usually just kind of eyeball. I'm just kind of eyeballing. You can kind of lay it out and press it out if you need to, but I think this is going to be just fine. It's still just a little snug. Let me take just a little bit off this bottom edge. So cute. I'm not used to wearing a long sleeve shirt. I gotta keep pulling up my shirt sleeves here. Okay, I just want to be sure that's good and dry. So we're gonna kind of work back and forth between projects today, and that's how I would suggest you do it at home too. Because sometimes this one's got to dry for a little bit, and while we're waiting on that one to dry, we'll start working on another one, and so on. Really, really simple, easy. This is just basic napkin 101. Basic napkin craft 101. Very, very easy to do. And again, do you see, because of the little snowy setting, I definitely want white behind this. I want that snow to look really pretty and white. So I'm going to take my Mod Podge again, my Mod Podge mat, and put it inside here. These little shadow boxes are just a couple dollars a piece. Is that right? Something like that?
$2.
$2 a piece.
We have the rectangles.
So they're very budget friendly to craft with. Okay, and now I'm just going to kind of lay it down inside here And again, just lightly kind of pat, tap them in place, and then grab your chip brush and pounce, pounce, pounce. Don't worry if a little bit of your napkin goes up the side a little bit. I have one of these is a little bit long, but it's not going to matter. Nobody's going to notice it. I need just a little bit more Mod Podge right here. Right under a corner. I don't know what it is with me and corners. So make sure you get plenty in the corners. See how cute? It's so adorable. So it looks cute with the canvas. It's cute both ways. So cute. You just get a little bit of a different look. Okay, I'm gonna dry this a little bit, and then what am I gonna do next? I'm gonna seal it. I'm gonna seal it. Don't forget to seal it. Don't get too busy crafting that you forget. Just a nice, light, thin coat over the top. Then we're gonna go back to the truck because he's looking good. Okay, so I'm gonna set this one aside. We're gonna let him dry. And we're gonna go back to the truck. Now the truck is almost completely clear. So now I feel very comfortable going ahead and speeding up the rest of it. I wanna make sure it's good and dry before we move on to the next step. It's actually very dry. And we're gonna have a little fun with him, decorating him up. Okay, sound good? We are saving this. Yes, we are saving this video, so it will be right here on my page. So if you can't watch the entire workshop, no worries. You can always come back here and watch the replay, okay? Has everybody sprinkled? Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm so excited to be sharing with you gals because 2 lucky sprinklers are gonna go home with a mini napkin bundle. Yay. Yes, we do. $2. The canvases you can find everywhere. You can find them even at the dollar store. You can find the little 5x5 canvases at Hobby Lobby. That's where I got mine, were Hobby Lobby. Anywhere that sells canvases. If you order online, I'm sure you can find them. Okay, so I want some of my canvas to sparkle. All right, I love adding sparkle to my canvases, so I'm going to be using Stickles. Diamond Stickles is my favorite. I love all the clear Stickles, any of them that are kind of the clear color, because they take on whatever color you put them on top of. So if I put it on top of green, it still looks green underneath. If I put it on top of red, it still looks red underneath. So what I'm going to do is I want to add some, and I'm going to try to kind of turn it in the light. It's so hard to see, but look at Happy there. Can you see that Happy's kind of sparkling? I'm going to add this Stickles, and it has like a really thin, do you see the little thin tip there? So it's almost like you can draw with it. I'm just going to squeeze some out and then use the tip to put it on these red words. So I'm just basically it's almost like I'm writing. I'm just squeezing out a little bit and then using the tip to spread it on these words. I love sparkle, but I'm not a fan of loose glitter. But I love sparkle, so this is a great alternative. It's kind of like a glitter glue type base. I'm gonna put it on holidays also. And it dries pretty quickly, especially if you're not putting it on too thick. And I'm not. I'm squeezing it out and then I'm just moving it and filling it in with the tip, the little applicator tip. That way it doesn't get on there too thick. So anything that you want to sparkle, you can use Stickles, and it's like $2.29 a bottle. Super, super affordable. It's so pretty. So look at Happy. Can you see? Do you see the sparkle? Isn't that pretty? So I did that to Happy and to Holidays down there, and I love it. So I usually, Stickles come in all different colors, but we don't carry all the colors because I honestly just like the diamond. I like diamond. I just love the clear ones because you don't need all the colors if you have the clear, because it's going to look like whatever color you put underneath it. Yes, thank you for the hearts. Yeah, it's so awesome. Thank you for sprinkling. Thank you. I see Janice just sprinkled and Diane. Awesome. You're going to join, Gloria? Oh, you're going to love it. We have so much fun. It really is. We have such a blast in there. So the other thing I want to sparkle on here are these snowflakes. There's these little snowflakes kind of all in the background. So again, I'm just kind of squeezing some of the Stickles out of the bottle, and then just using the tip to spread it. So I'm not even trying to get like all the lines. I'm just kind of making each one of these girls sparkle, these pretty little snowflakes. All snowflakes should sparkle, don't you think? Okay, so I added Stickles to Happy, to Holidays, and just to the snowflakes here. There's a little bit of snow on the truck. I'm gonna put a little bit on the truck here. And maybe just a little bit down here around the bottom of the truck. Just real lightly, just kind of to make that sparkle. Okay. It's always hard to tell what's going to be able to show up on camera, but I promise it's there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead, because I put it on there fairly lightly, I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm just going to dry at it. Again, just keep your heat tool moving. You just want to keep it moving, or your blow dryer. Just keep it moving, and it won't take long at all because it's on there thin for it to dry. You know what I forgot to put over here, Kristen, were these little glitter balls. If you want to go grab some for me, if there's some in that back. If not, it's okay. I can just show them that one. Okay, so I want to make this canvas even more special. I mean, it's already cute. It's cute as it can be, but I want to make it more special. So I decided I wanted to add a little bottle brush tree on top of the tree that's actually in the truck. Okay, I think these are so cute. These little bottle brush trees, they're super fun to craft with. They have a little wood base like this. And so basically I'm going to take that off. You can just kind of twist and pull and it will just pop right off. So I'm going to put that to the side. Now here's the problem. When you have a tree like this, it's round all on every side, okay? So we're going to give it a haircut. We're going to give it a haircut. And by giving it a haircut, we're going to basically flatten it. We're going to cut the back half of it off so that it's nice and flat, so we can hot glue it onto the tree that's in the back of the truck, okay? So I am literally just gonna, I would suggest you do this over a trash can. It's kind of messy. I'm gonna do it right here just so you can see. So I'm just cutting, just take your scissors and cut right through the back. And what happens is now I have half a tree. Okay, I just cut it off. Don't cut through the wire. You got to keep the wire or all the bristles will fall off. You're just giving it a haircut on that back side. Let me sweep this off into a trash can here. But it's fun to add dimension to your napkin art pieces. I just think it's so cute. So, 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 so cute. Okay, and I'm going to cut this wire tip off at the bottom. And I'm going to just kind of cut, I have some a little unruly pieces down here at the bottom. I'm just going to kind of trim them a little bit. And now I'm going to use hot glue to position this just right on top of this truck, okay? So I'm going to just kind of put a nice little blob of hot glue here, and then I'm going to spread it a little bit with the tip. And I'm going to lay it right into, or onto, the tree that's in the back of the truck. Just hold it there just for a second. Let the glue hold up. Look how cute that is. Isn't that cute? So now I've just made my canvas really, really fun and dimensional. It's just so easy to do. These little bottle brush trees, we have some here, but again, you can find them. A lot of times they're in the miniature section. Or in the Christmas section. And even if you have a bottle brush tree but you feel like it's too big, you just cut it down. Just cut it down. You can make sure you're not using your, make sure you're using like really good like craft scissors. You don't mind cutting through that wire, but you can actually cut it down if you want to whatever size you need it to be. I think that looks really cute. Now I want to disguise this little metal piece, this little metal, the little metal thing that's holding all the bristles on. I'm going to disguise that a little bit. So I'm just going to take some black and white baker's twine here. Let me make sure, see what I did. Yeah, I did a double bow. And I'm going to make a double bow. So this is how you make a double bow. I have two strands, two pieces right here. And I'm going to tie a bow together. I have one loop. I'm going to wrap around the loop. And then I'm going to bring this through a little hole there, and then just pull them out. Okay, so just making just a regular cute little bow with two pieces so that I get this nice little fluffy cute little bow like this. Now that might be a little big, so I'm going to pull the loops in. By pulling the tails, you can make the loops a little smaller. And now I'm just going to cut these. It's not too big. I don't want the bow to take over my whole truck. I'm going to add just a little bit of hot glue, kind of right there at the base of the tree where that little metal piece is sticking out. And that's where I'm going to put my bow. It just disguises that bottom part of the tree. Super cute, and again, adds some fun dimension and softness now. Texture. I love things with texture. How cute is that, right? It's so, so cute. Now, if you wanted to, you could decorate your tree. So I'm going to show you on this sample. Do you see how these little glitter balls? So these little glitter balls are like from a garland. And I found these at Hobby Lobby where the miniature trees are. They're just on a long string. This one happens to be red and white, but they're on like a long string. They have some that are red and green and gold, red and white, and you can cut them and use these the little balls. They're just little styrofoam balls, and you can put them into your bottle brush trees. So I could put in a couple on this one. This tree is a little bit smaller than my other tree. And this is how you do it. You're literally just going to, don't put the glue on the little glitter ball, okay? You might even have some beads or something, some bling, some sequins. You might have something else in your stash that you want to use for this. But take your glue gun and go kind of down into the bristles where you want to put the glitter ball and squeeze just a little drop of hot glue. And then take the ball and literally push it down into the bottle brush tree. Don't stick it on the top. Like you want them snuggled into the tree. Okay, does that make sense? You want to snuggle it into the branches. Really super cute. So I always pick up one pack. One pack will do you because you'll have plenty. I always pick up one pack usually at Christmas time. And And then I have these fun little balls to decorate with. And I'm going to really just push it down into the tree and just hold it for a second. We want it to set up. Got glue hairs everywhere, but I'll get rid of those here in just a minute. Oops, my finger's stuck to him. I'll have to add a little bit more glue. Got Mod Podge and stuff on my fingers. Okay, so on this tree, I feel like this is a little bit too big. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it in half. Yeah, that's going to be better. So I'm going to cut it in half with my scissors so that it's just a little smaller and it doesn't stick up so much. Cute. Isn't that fun? You could even put a little star at the top of your tree if you wanted to. Really, really super cute and easy to do. Have y'all ever bought those little glitter garlands and taken them apart to use on things? I think it looks really cute, y'all. So cute. Okay, so we're gonna finish off our canvas now. Now remember how we have a little bit of that paint kind of showing through the napkin up here, and I told you not to worry about it? Well, this is why you're not gonna worry about it, because we're gonna decorate it. Again, because we're adding some dimension to our pieces, and I think it just looks so cute. So I'm gonna give you a couple of different options. On this one, I used like a silver tinsel. Do you see that? Just a pretty little silver tinsel trim all around those edges, just with hot glue. Real simple, just hot glued it on. On this one, I thought it might be fun to use these. I love these things, y'all. These are what are called pine stems. It's kind of like a pipe cleaner, but they're pine. They have the little sprigs, the little sprucey pine stems. I love these. They're very, very affordable. We've got some here, and these, oh gosh, aren't they like 20 in a pack? I think there's like 20 in a pack when you get these, okay? And they're like 60 off right now at Hobby Lobby. We have some that we're just selling individually to our local customers, but y'all, you can go get a pack of them really, really cheap, okay? And I love to use these all the time on my projects. So I think on this one today, I'm going to actually use this around the outside edge, okay? So if you're not like a blingy person, if like tinsel is just a little too much for you, then you could use something like this, or you could use a ribbon or whatever you want. So I'm gonna fold this so I know about where I need to cut it. This is gonna take me two to go around this. I need to cut that one down a little bit. Don't worry about the glue hairs, the hot glue hairs. I'm going to show you how we're going to get rid of those here in just a minute. So I'm going to just run this hot glue around these two edges. Oh, this is so cute. And I'm going to layer these cute pine stems on. Okay, let's do one more. Fold about right there. Oh yeah, the Dollar Tree has them too. I have seen them at the Dollar Tree. I don't think there's quite as many in the pack at the Dollar Tree, but they do have them at the Dollar Tree. You're right.
Glue lights or glitter would be cute.
Oh yes, now that we can get all those cute little lights, the little, I don't know, I call them fairy lights. They're not fairy lights, but the cute little tiny little LED lights. That would be really fun. So many different things you could do. And this stuff loves hot glue. Like, it loves it. It just grabs so well. So, so easy. Look how cute that is. Almost looks like a little wreath going around our canvas. Isn't that adorable? So I want to show you something on the other project because this is something that's fun to do with these pine stems as well. They can stay green like this, or you can take your paintbrush, and dust over them. Okay, can you see? And they look like they're snow covered. They look like they're frosted. So let's do that on this one because I think, especially since, you know, I don't know, I like snow. I like the look of it. So I'm gonna go into my white paint here, but I wanna take off some. I have some in a cup here. I really don't want much on my brush at all, okay? Almost like a dry brush. I don't want much at all. And I'm simply just going to kind of let it just kind of hit and miss. And it's gonna make your pine look like it's snow covered or kind of frosted. Isn't that cute? And I mean, it's up to you how much you want to do this. If you want to do a lot or a little. I kind of like it when it's just kind of soft. And isn't that cute? So it looks pretty and frosted. Really super simple. Super, super simple. I think that looks really cute. So now let's show you the two samples together. So you have a couple of different options here, right? Same exact napkin, but we get a little different look. You can go a little more bright and blingy with tinsel if you wanted to, or you can go a more of the natural kind of look with the cute little pine frosted stems here. Isn't that cute? Yay! I love this one. So fun. Okay. He's done. This one's done. Yay! You don't have to do anything else to him unless you want to bling him up anymore or add more stickles or something like that to him, you could. Okay, so let's go back to our little shadow box now, okay? So again, I want some of this to sparkle, but I also want to do something else to this one. I'm going to be using just a fine tip journaling pen, like a fine tip black marker, because I'm going to show you here on the napkin. This napkin says, this napkin says Season's Greetings, but do you see how it's not very easy to read? Like it doesn't stand out very much. So what you can do after your, sorry about the phone, after you have your top coat on it and it's dry, right? You've sealed it and it's dry. You can actually take your pen and do some pen work. So do you see how I took my pen and I just wrote around, I just basically traced out Season's Greetings. Do you see how that pops so much more than just seeing that, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna do that first so that I don't, and this can be any kind of black journaling pen. I would choose one that will be permanent so when it's dry, it's steadfast. So I'm just gonna very lightly, you don't have to press down hard, and I'm just tracing over Season's Greetings. Now I happen to have grabbed my Illustrated Faith pen, but actually what I normally use are my Pitt pens, and I think did I grab one of those? Yeah, if you want to grab me one just so I can show them what it looks like. They're both made with the same kind of ink. Now you do need to be careful and make sure that your Mod Podge is completely dry when you I'm gonna switch to this one's got a little finer tip. You don't want to gum up your pens. Oh, good, perfect. Okay, so this is what the Pitt pens look like. Faber-Castell Pitt pens, they're great because they're a great mixed media pen. They have India ink in them. And they just play really nicely with other inks and other paints and other mediums. So they're just kind of work really great. I'm not doing as good a job on this one because I'm trying to hurry. But that's okay. It'll just look more whimsical. Okay, can you see that? It's kind of hard in this shadow box. So Season's Greetings is going to stand out so much more. So any kind of pin work that you want to do, like I think I did this on the other one too. On this wreath, I just went around and kind of did little squiggles around the outside edge of it, just so it would kind of stand out. I took black around the bow on the wreath. Can you look at the wreath there? See the bow? Okay, so if you want to do any pin work on top of your napkinized projects, you can do that. Just make sure that you're doing it after that top layer of Mod Podge is dry, after you've sealed the napkin. Because if you didn't seal the napkin and you go to draw on the napkin, again, that napkin's going to want to absorb, so it's going to absorb the ink. So you got to be careful about that. Make sure it's already sealed before you do any kind of drawing or anything on it. So I'm going to go back to my Stickles because I want this to sparkle. And just to be sure that my ink is completely dry, I'm going to pop it real quick with the heat tool. Because I want to stickle over Season's Greetings and anything that's snow. So I want to do like the snow on the top of the house here, the little cabin. I'm going to do some of the snow in the yard here. And when it's the yard snow, I kind of just do almost kind of like little lines. I don't really cover everything. Just squeeze out a little bit, put a little bit between the antlers. Over here by the snowman. Let's see if it'll show. See if I can catch it in the light just right. I don't know if I can, but it's there. I promise it's there. And I'm going to put some on the wreath as well. I'm going to put some on the bow on the wreath and the green on the wreath. And then I'm going to put some on Season's Greetings, just like I'm kind of drawing it out. Just use the tip to spread it. Super cute. Now this particular one has all these little snowballs. See, like the little snow circles coming down in the sky? I want those to sparkle too, but you don't have to do every single one. Like just kind of pick the ones that are bigger, the ones your eye sees first. But again, when the light hits this, it's just gonna look so pretty because some of these little snowflakes or snowballs that are coming down out of the sky, it's just gonna look adorable. And of course, if you want to stickle anything else, you just stickle away. Stickle, stickle, stickle away. And I'm going to show y'all how to make a bow. Okay, so this is the one that was the canvas, right? So I took the pine stem and put it all the way around the edges and then finished it off with this cute little bow and jingle bell, which I'm going to show you how to make. So we've got to decide, how do we want to add that on the shadow box or not? And here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually not going to add it, at least not around the whole thing. But I am going to add a piece of it. So I'm going to come in and cut this guy. Let's see, I think I'll cut him about in half. I'm not drying my Stickles because I'm just going to kind of wrap this up here around this little hanger, which you don't really need the hanger. So if you wanted to hot glue this on, and actually I'm not going to use the hanger, so I probably should just cut it off. Let me just cut this off because I want to put this on a little easel. So I just want to kind of twist this around, maybe kind of coming up and around kind of the corner of my shadow box like that. Except for, I think I'm going to switch sides because I don't want to cover up Season's Greetings. So it's just going to be kind of wiggly right here. Just lay it into the hot glue. I love that you can shape it. So on this one, I'm just going to do a little bit off the edge right there. Okay, so if you don't want to put it all the way around, you don't have to. I'll make sure these stickles are dry so they don't grab any of these little pieces. This, when you cut it, it sheds just a little bit. And then I want to show y'all how to make a bow. I get asked on how to make bows like all the time, okay? Okay, Janice, no problem. There's going to be the replay will be here, so no worries, all right? Thank you for sprinkling. Thank you, thank you. Oh, okay. Oh, did we have a bad guy? Did we have a troll? Okay. Okay. Kristen deleted and blocked him, so he's gone. Okay, so I'm going to take this cute little ribbon that has little snowflakes on it, and I think it's really cute, the white snowflakes on the black. And I'm going to take a little bit of the twine, the black and white twine. So we're going to make a bow. This is a really fun and simple bow to make. So any of you that are bow challenged right now, watch the screen, okay? This is really fun and very simple. So what I'm going to do is just basically, I'm holding the ribbon right here. Decide about how big you think you want your loops to be and just kind of create a loop. And where it kind of crosses over, that's where the middle of the bow will be, okay? So I have a loop here. Now this has pattern only on one side. So I'm going to go back this direction, okay? So I have two loops now, and then you can twist it. Twist it underneath so that you see the snowflakes. You can twist it underneath again so you see the snowflakes. So basically I've got 4 loops happening here. Just twist it so that you see, sorry, let me hold it like this, so that you see the snowflakes. So see, there's 2 loops on this side. There's 2 loops here and here. But I can see all of the snowflakes, okay? So there's no knot, nothing. You're just loop, 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 loop. Because it's one single-sided, you're just going to twist it right here where it crosses, where the center of the bow will be, so that you can see both sides. And I'm going to take this little piece of baker's twine now, and I'm going to wrap it around the center of these loops. Not always the easiest thing to do when you just have 2 hands. So I'm just holding it all in place. There we go. Now before I tie it really tight, I like to kind of make sure that I'm in the center. Make sure I'm in the center, and I think I am. And then I'm really going to tie it tight. And I'm going to tie it in a double knot. So I'll do 1 more knot. And I love how these bows turn out. They turn out so cute every time. They're just cute and loopy, and you can go in and separate them, kind of push them apart. They just turn out so cute every single time. Just loop, loop, loop. And I like that they're kind of organic, like they don't look too, you know, they just look fun and loopy and just cute. Very, very cute, okay? So if you feel like your tails are too long, you'll just go in and just give them a little slant cut. And now I'm going to put a jingle bell in the center of this, okay? So I'm going to take one of my twine, my pieces of twine. I'm going to use a red jingle bell, and you'll see these red jingle bells. See the little holder there, whatever you want to call that. I'm just going to slide this through just on one, and then just tie it off in a knot. And it's going to tie it right to the center of your bow. Now you could make another bow out of your twine, but I'm not going to. I think I'm just going to leave it. And now I just have to decide exactly where I want to put it. I want it to be up here in these loops. I'm going to pull these black twine where they're kind of going downward. Let's see, which direction do I want? Okay, I'm going to go that way. So I'm going to add, again, some hot glue, kind of a little bit of a blob there. And I'm going to press my bow right down into it. And I'm just going to push down with the jingle bell. And hold it for just a second. You want to make sure that it's grabbing. So cute. Okay, so it's grabbed. And look how cute that is. Isn't that sweet? So it's just fun, cute little loops. You have your little tails, and I think it looks really cute having the little jingle bell there in the corner. So now I have my cute little foliage there. And I'm going to go ahead and tie knots in the bottom of each of these little pieces of twine. And then unravel beneath the knot. That way it keeps the whole piece of twine from unraveling, but it kind of makes it look, I think they're cute because it makes it look like a little tassel on the end. Can you see that? Let's see if I put my finger behind it, if you can kind of see. Really easy like that. I think that looks so cute. Do y'all like that? Do you like that bow? Really fun and super simple. And then of course, look how cute this is gonna look on my little easel. Look at that. Isn't it darling? So if you wanted to add more stuff to this, you could. If you wanted to add ribbon around the sides, you could. I mean, that's just totally up to you. But I think it's just really, really adorable. And then let's look at the other one here too. This is the one done on the 5x5 canvas. So you see more of the napkin on this one because it's using the full napkin. We didn't have to trim anything down. My cute little bow up here. Again, cute little bow. And this time it's just on the, I just have the pine stems going all around it and kind of frosted them up. Isn't it cute? So, so, so cute. Okay, I love that one. Okay, so that's 2 down. We've got 2 down. Yay! So our next 2 are gonna go pretty fast. And these are 2 that I'm so excited to share and show y'all because I think a lot of people don't realize how incredible napkin art can be, okay? So I'm gonna grab my next 2 projects here. It's gonna be this one and this one, okay? Super, super cute. So here's what I want you to realize about this one. The block's not painted. The block is not painted. This is the raw wood. This is just the raw wood of the block. And that white part of the napkin, y'all, it just disappears. It just disappears completely right into the wood. I think it looks so cute. So that's the 2 we're gonna make next. So I'm gonna grab my wood block here. And this is a 3x4 block. So again, I just want you to see nothing, no paint, just the raw wood. You can even see the little knot hole down there. So fun. This one too. So it's fun sometimes, and this natural kind of look is really in right now, especially with like the natural beads, the natural wood beads, like garlands, you know, and things like this. Whoops. Like that, right? So just really, really cute. and fun and even faster because no paint. Okay, let me clean up my area here. Are y'all enjoying these techniques? Yes, so much fun, so much fun. So just imagine if this block had been stained, right? Like if it's stained, you can see through it. And I actually have another sample I'm going to show you. Because I want y'all to understand how amazing the napkins are and how translucent they are. So I'm going to be working with this beautiful tree napkin. Now for today, just for purposes of our workshop today, I'm only going to do the front, but when you're doing these, especially if this is going to go like on a tiered tray or a shelf, if you're going to see it from both sides, decorate both sides. Now just to save time for you watching today, I'm just going to decorate the one side, but it's so pretty to decorate both so that wherever you're going to put it, you can enjoy it from every angle. Okay, so let me cut this one. I'm going to do the tree one first. I love this tree. And I don't think I told y'all this, but if you do become a member of the Napkin Club, if you fall in love with a certain napkin, like you just love a napkin that you get in your bundle, we offer the additional napkins just to our club members. So you can actually purchase more napkins. Like if you fall in love with a tree and you want more, you want to make some for all of your friends or family or coworkers or something like that. You have the ability to go in and purchase more, and it's typically you get 2 napkins for, I think it's like $1.25, something like that. So we keep it really, really affordable for y'all. So I've cut this little ribbon piece off here because I like this ribbon. We're going to use that on the sides, and I just realized, what did I just do with this other napkin? There it is. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Or did I toss it over here?
Oh.
Okay. Because you're going to make your napkin double-sided, okay? I mean, not your napkin. You're going to make your wood block double-sided. I'm going to cut this piece off of the other napkin. So basically you're doing 2. You're going to have a tree here, you're going to have a tree here, and that's going to give us 2 of these pieces, of these ribbon border pieces, which I think are so pretty. So we're going to separate the napkin. Now if this napkin if this block had have been stained, okay? Like stained, like if it was a dark stain, you have to know that dark stain is going to come through your napkin, so your tree would be darker, okay? So just keep that in mind. I really love this natural. I don't even have to trim anything down. It's just going to go on just like this. I'm going to sand off the edges once it's on here. And again, we're going to use our matte Mod Podge. Matte Mod Podge is what I love to use for wood. So I'm going to put the Mod Podge all on top of the block. Now, this block has not been painted, and you need to know that wood sometimes can really soak up the Mod Podge. So put a coat on, and if you're working quickly, it should be fine. You can go ahead with your napkin. But if you wait a minute or something, you might want to go back in and put another coat on because it has a tendency to kind of soak it up. So I'm going to put my tree napkin right here. Oh, I love this. Okay, now when you're looking at it right now, it's looking white, right? Do you see all those bubbles and all that stuff? That's fine. I'm just going to kind of press it down, pat it down with my fingers just a little bit. And now I'm going to take my chip brush. Hey, Patty. Hi, Gladys. Good to see y'all watching. Be sure you're sprinkling. I'm taking my chip brush and now I'm pouncing it down. And I don't know if you can tell, but that raw wood is starting to come through my napkin. So I love white base napkins. I like napkins that have a white background because it just melts away. It just disappears into whatever your surface is. And like I said, I have another sample I'm going to show y'all here in just a second. So I'm going to dry this just real quickly. And I'm mainly focusing kind of on the edges because I want to sand away the edges. So let me show you what's happening now. Hopefully you can see. Do you see the wood grain? Do you see the wood grain kind of starting to come through there? You can see how white the napkin is here. But see that, oh, right here, see the wood grain coming through? Isn't that pretty? Now it's gonna come through even more when we do the top coat on it. So I'm gonna take my sandpaper. I'm just using a little piece of sandpaper, but you could use a foam sanding block if you want to. And I'm sanding off the excess. Okay, I've got the excess sanded off. And now this is where it just really just, when I put the top coat on, again, it's sealing the napkin, but it's going to make it even more transparent. So I'm gonna just very gently, I'm just gonna kind of do a quick top coat here. You want to make sure that that napkin is dry. That's why I popped it with the heat tool for just a minute. Because if you try to put the top coat on while the bottom coat is still wet, again, sometimes your napkin can tear. This is gonna look like this tree is imprinted right on this wood. It's amazing. It's my favorite. So it's gonna be milky at first. You can see it's really milky right now from the Mod Podge. I'm gonna put it to the side for a minute so that it can start drying. And I wanna show you another project. Now this is also using the tree, but the reason I want you to see the transparency of the napkin with this is I put music paper behind this tree. So look at that. So there's just a hymnal page that I decoupaged onto. This is actually a chunky 4x6 canvas. I got this one also at Hobby Lobby, 4x6. Isn't that cute? But look at the music notes coming through the tree. Isn't that pretty? So these napkins are so transparent, girls. They're so transparent, so you can put anything behind them. Just make sure it's something you want to see coming through the tree, okay? Or coming through the napkin, whatever the napkin is. But I love using music paper this time of year, and my favorite thing is to find old hymnals. I try to pick up old hymnals anytime I can at thrift stores or resale shops or just anywhere that I can get them. They look great. Isn't that pretty? I love them. We also have some, it could be sheet music. It could be any kind of music books, anything like that. We actually here, if you're local to us here at the Little Blue House, a lot of times I find extra things and I sell them here at the shop too. So we have a lot of music paper right now if you need some. Okay, so I wanted you to see that. Yes.
Do the wood blocks or canvases have to be the same size as the napkin, or can the napkin be smaller?
No, the napkin can be smaller. That's up to you. The napkin can be smaller, and especially because this one just has the white around it, right? It can go on whatever you want it to go on. This could go, you could maybe just even use this top portion of the tree on an ornament or something. That you can do however you want. The other thing I wanted to show y'all is, do you see the inking around the edge on this one? So it's kind of fun to ink your projects too, especially if you put paper down, you can ink them before you put the napkin on, and it just gives you a really pretty kind of aged look. Isn't that gorgeous? So the kind of ink that I like to use if I'm gonna do that, if I want to ink the edges of something, are these chalk inks from Quick Quotes. I love them. They're chalk based, so they look great on a painted surface. They look great on paper surfaces. Really, really nice. And you just apply the ink just directly to the surface. It's real. I'll show you on this one. Now you would do this before you put the top coat on, but I'm just going to show you how I do it. Literally just like that. Just kind of dusted just around the edges, and then you'll want to put a top coat on it when you're done. Okay, isn't that pretty? Okay, so while this is setting up, I'm going to go ahead and work on my top portion here, the ribbon portion. I think this is just so pretty. So I'm going to cut away a little bit of this extra paper, just a little bit. It's a little bit wider than my block. So I'm just going to cut away, than the edge of my block. I'm going to cut away a little bit. Tammy, you really will love this club. Thank you, Phyllis. Okay, so, and I'm cutting it kind of where these are kind of cut at an angle down here, even though, remember, the white's going to go away. It's really just to make those little ribbons look like they're kind of cute, cut kind of cute here. I'm going to cut it down just a little bit more so that by cutting it down, I don't have to sand it, because one side is drying. I don't want to have to mess with sanding it. Okay. So now that I have this cut, and it can be wonky cut, it doesn't matter because you're not going to see it. It's going to disappear, that white background. Y'all are so sweet. My Napkin Club members are the best. They are just the best of the best of the best. And anybody that signs up, you're going to sign up just in time because our December bundle is being shipped out. And it is so cute. There's a reveal. I did a reveal on my page here. So if you follow my Facebook page, you can scroll down on the feed and you can see the live reveal of the Winter Wonderland bundle if you want to later. Okay, so I have these two pieces here. Now I need it to be one long piece, so this is what I plan to do. I'm actually going to start kind of right here in the middle, the top middle of the block for these two pieces right here. And I'm going to overlap them a little bit. You'll never be able to really tell. It's going to look, it's just all going to blend together. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start by putting some Mod Podge right here on the top. And I'm gonna, let's see, that's kind of, I'm just eyeballing the middle. And I'm gonna pat that down. And then I'm gonna have these overlap just a hair, just a hair. So cute. So wherever it overlaps, you're gonna need to just, I'm gonna lift it up just a hair here. There we go. I need to put a little bit of Mod Podge right underneath there, just a tiny little bit. And again, just kind of lightly pat, and then I'm going to come back in and pounce. I still have a little bit of excess on this edge, so I'll have to sand that off here in a minute. And now I'm going to go down the sides. I just love how this looks on the natural wood. So pretty. We did this technique. I actually taught it when we were pre-pandemic, but while we were still having classes here at my studio at the store. And we covered these old wine barrel heads, actual real oak wine barrel heads with all different napkins, and made these beautiful trays out of them. And oh my gosh, it was so pretty because we left the wood as it was. So like some of the wood had like markings on it, or stamped, you know, kind of markings or images on it. Oh my gosh, and they were all just a beautiful, beautifully aged, you know, and it's one of my favorite projects. I need to share a picture of that with y'all. One of my favorite projects. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here to this side. I'm gonna have to do this side standing up though, because I can't lay the other side down. And again, just Putting on the Mod Podge. I typically will put the Mod Podge over the entire piece just because I don't want to see kind of where it starts and stops. Okay, and now before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and start kind of drying this top a little bit. Isn't it amazing to see that wood grain just coming through? Okay, I'm doing that so that I can come up here, sand off this little bit, this little edge. I have a little bit on this side too. I just want to sand this off so I can go ahead and do the top coat on the sides, and then I'll show you the sample that's dry. And this top coat is really going to make such a difference. It's so nice today to have Kristen here because the shop is closed. We closed at 1, and so it's nice to have her here. She's helping like answer questions and post links and stuff. That's so great to have her help. Okay, so it's still really milky, but you can kind of see what it's going to look like kind of going down the side here. So I'm going to put this one to the side over here while it's drying, and let's go back and look at this one because this one is all completely dry. And when it's completely dry, y'all, it really does. It just looks like the wood block. It looks like this stuff was imprinted right on the wood block. And all I did then is I went in and added some stickles, okay? I added stickles to the red bow and anything that was red or blue. There's kind of a bluish kind of berry looking thing. You can kind of see it sparkling a little bit. Anything that was red, anything in the tree, and then of course the red ribbon. And then I just tied a real simple bow on top of this bow. I didn't want to fuss this one up too much. I mean, I like the simplicity of it. I like the natural feel of it. So all I did is tie off a little twine bow and pop that on with hot glue. And then I have a little bit of hot glue, little tiny dot of hot glue beneath these knots so that it stays, the bow kind of stays where I wanted it to be. And do you see how I kind of angled the bow so it wasn't exactly on top of the red napkin bow? I think that looks really good. I'll show you this side too. So cute, y'all. Do you like this one? This is one that I just think it's so interesting. It's so pretty, and I think it really mixes well to have a few natural pieces mixed in with your painted pieces. I think it looks really, really good. You like that, Tammy? What are stickles? Okay, let me show you what stickles are. Stickles are basically like a glitter glue. I'm not a big fan of loose glitter, so I have to put my sparkle on in other ways. So I love using stickles. Look at my finger. Do you see how my finger is kind of sparkling? Probably shouldn't have put it on my finger. Let's see. Let's find something else that's sparkling. I don't know why I did that. So silly. Okay, here. I'll go ahead and put it on this one because this side is dry. So I'm going to take these stickles and just squeeze them out, and then use the tip, the little applicator tip, to move them around, or you could even use a paintbrush if you want to. And I'll show you, it just adds this beautiful sparkle. Diamond is my favorite. Diamond is my favorite. So look at that bow. Now you can really see it. See how pretty that is? It doesn't take long to dry, especially if you don't put it on real thick. If you just move it around with the tip or put it on with a paintbrush.
It's a little bit
super pretty. I know it's harder to see on these videos. I wish y'all could just all be right here in front of me. But I think that gives you an idea, right? So, so fun. Okay, so I'm not going to do the back side of that one. I'll do that later. And now we're going to do this again with this whole natural kind of look. And this time I'm using this napkin. I love this napkin, y'all. If you were in the napkin club, you got this napkin in one of our bundles as the luncheon size, the large one. And then in this little mini bundle, because I loved it so much and I wanted to share it with more people, I gave you the cocktail size, which is the smaller one. I love this napkin, and I love napkins where you get a little surprise. So the surprise on this one is that you get two totally different, they still kind of look the same, but you get two totally different images. So on this one, when you get this one in your bundle, you're getting 2 poinsettias and 2 with the candy canes. Isn't it cute? So I did this one with the poinsettia. Okay, I did this one with the poinsettia, and I've tried to make these look kind of like presents, okay, just the raw wood. And do you see how I just wrapped the square around? I just kind of wrapped it around on a couple sides, and then on this side I only did that part, and then I just adorned it with some ribbon and ribbon strips and jingle bells. So I thought it would be fun today to maybe use the candy cane side. What do you think? You want to use the candy cane side? I think it's just so cute. So I have to see how these candy canes are going to fit on here and see what we can do. Sometimes it's challenging when you have a bigger napkin, you know, and this little wood block is 3 by 4. I like this size. This size is so cute. So I'm going to kind of have to look at this and decide, okay, like how it would look. So if I put the candy cane on, I could do it just like that, and it looks like a longer candy cane. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards doing. Do y'all like it like that? Or I could kind of turn it. I could do, I don't know. I could do all kinds of things. So if I'm gonna do that, then I'm just going to kind of crease this. I like the candy cane too. I like the poinsettia too, but I like the candy cane. It's fun. So I'm going to crease this, and I'm going to go ahead and cut off this edge here. But I'm going to keep, I like the little stitched look. I like this little stitched look around the edges of the napkin. I think that's kind of fun. So I'm going to keep that part. So let's go ahead and separate this napkin. I'm just using my lick and stick method. In fact, I'm getting to where I'm gonna have to peel my fingers in a minute from between the glue and the Mod Podge and the paint. Builds up. This block is a 3 by 4D. It's a 3 by 4 wood block. These are, I think, like 250. 250 is what we sell them for. They're already pre-sanded. They're very lightweight. They're a great, cute little size. We have the 3 by 4, we have a 4 by 4, and we have a 4 by 6. Okay, so let's see. Which side do I want to use? I'll just use this side for now. So I'm going to apply my Mod Podge. I got to put some more Mod Podge on my plate here. Everything I'm doing today, in case you just signed on late, I'm attaching, decoupaging the napkin, top napkin tissue with Mod Podge matte. That is my fave. I feel like we should be playing Christmas music.
I turned off
I need to go turn the Christmas music on. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of position this where I want it to be. Perfect. And just kind of pat it down. Just work on one side of a surface at a time. So much easier. Pounce, pounce, pounce. Oh, so cute. Look how cute that's going to be. That's adorable. All right, now let's do the sides. I'm just going to wrap it around. Just going to wrap the whole thing around. Okay. So cute. I'm going to sand off the edges on the back because I'm not sure what I want to do on the back yet. I can either make it look exactly like the front or make it look different. So that's what it's going to look like with the candy cane. That's really cute. That is super, super, super cute. Okay, now it's dry enough that I can sand off these edges. A little tiny edge right here at the top. And let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put the other candy cane on the other side. Let me see. So it's okay to cut your napkins. Cut them into different sizes. Cut out pieces from your napkins. You don't always have to use them as a whole. I cut pieces out of my napkins all the time and kind of collage with them, and make sure it's dry enough to sit down. So on this side, because I don't want to wrap it around, I wrapped around on the other side. I don't want it to like overlap. I like to just use my fingers to kind of press out the edges, and that way I can see exactly where I need to cut. Gives me a nice little fold, a little line there, a little crease that I can see. Because I may decide to use some other pieces of this. I love the natural look of this napkin. It's fun. Perfect to go on the block, being natural like this. Pounce it out. That's really cute. I like it. I like the candy cane. These will be cute together. I like to have them sitting together. There's that one. And I didn't put stickles on these. I didn't put any kind of anything on them. I just left them natural. But I'm kind of thinking maybe a candy cane would be cute. Like if you just sparkled the red stripes, or just sparkled maybe the red stripes I think would be the cutest. But I'm going to leave it just natural for now. I'll let y'all decide if you want to bling it up. I've still got just a little tiny edge right here. Now I'm going to show you why I didn't overlap it. Because when we did this side, we wrapped it around. And if I did it on this side, it would have just covered that part up, right? So it's just kind of like this, but you've still got some other pieces of your napkin here. So if you decided you wanted to add, you know, some other little extra pieces in places, almost like a patchwork, like you could totally do that. And that would be kind of cute because it does have the little stitch lines. It would look, do you know what I'm saying? Like if you kind of ran them, you know, ran the pieces kind of like that next to each other, that would be kind of cute. Like you could just cover the whole thing up and make it look kind of like a patchwork. Isn't that pretty? So all I have left to do for this one is to go ahead and put the top coat on it for now. I can stickle it or whatever else I want to do to it later. And I want to show you how I did the bow for the top of this one. Again, very, very simple. This one's even more simple than the other one. I'm just going to do these sides and the top for now. I'll go back and do I'll do the two front and back side and the top, and then I'll let that dry for a minute before I do the others. Okay, I'm running out of room to put things. Okay, so to make this cute little bow, all right, super, super easy. It is this beautiful red velvet with these little gold sparkly polka dots on it. We have several spools of this here at the Blue House, and this is just strips. It's just strips. So you're gonna decide about the width. I have it hanging over the edge of the block just a little bit. And I want you to cut 3 of them. So just so you can see, do you see how it's a little bit wider than the block? Okay, so this is 3 inches. So this is probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches, something like that. Okay. And I'm going to cut a little dovetail in the end of each of these. Now, some people call this a flag end or a dovetail, and most people achieve this by folding their ribbon and cutting through it. But I have seen it happen a million times in class, okay, where people will fold it and they'll cut it the wrong way, the wrong angle, and then they have to cut it again. And then guess what? They cut it the wrong way again. So don't fold it. Don't fold it. Do this. You're just going to cut a slit. Eyeball the center and cut a slit. Just cut a slit. And then cut from the corner to the top of that slit. Okay, like that. And then the other corner to the top of the slit. And it will come out right every single time. And you don't have to worry that you've cut the angle wrong when you folded it. Really super simple. So just cut a slit up the middle from the corner to the top of the slit and the corner to the top of the slit. And it just comes out perfectly every time. Who will admit that they have cut ribbon wrong when they folded it? I want to know who's going to be the honest crafter here and say that. Because I've done it, and I get so frustrated because then your ribbon just keeps getting shorter and shorter. All right. So I'm cutting these now. It's just easier to cut them now before we put them all together. So all these little bow techniques you can take them to your other projects, your other things. All right, so I have 3 here. I'm gonna lay one down straight. I'm gonna put one down kind of at an angle on top of that, and the other one. So basically, like you're kind of like making an X, but a wide X, okay? Like a wide X on top of all of those. And then I'm gonna tie it off with some black and white baker's twine. So actually, you should do this. Put the baker's twine down first if you want to, and then put one down, and then the other, and then the other, okay? Just really super simple. I'm only using 3 pieces. I don't want to overload the top of the block too much. I really want the block to be the star of the show. I just thought it would be pretty to make it look like it was almost like a wrapped present, you know, like topped like a present. So tie that knot off really nice and tight in the middle, and then you're going to tie another knot just to hold it. See how pretty? I mean, it's so simple, y'all. Super, super, super duper simple. So I'm going to take this now, and I'm going to go ahead and just put it on this one. I know I still need to do the sides, and I will. So I'm going to take this and put just a little bit of hot glue right in the middle, but I'm going to drag it. I'm kind of dragging it. So I put the blob in the middle, and then I just kind of drag it because it's going to grab this bottom ribbon, your straight ribbon. right? The one that we put on straight. So it's gonna grab that, but I don't want the other ribbons. I want the other ribbons to just kind of fly and be cute and all the fun things. And then let's go ahead this time and tie a bow off of this. So if you want to do just a little bow out of your twine. My lips are getting dry from talking so much. See how pretty that is? And then go ahead, you can tie off a knot in the tails. This is going to be really cute. I think I'm going to have to stickle the candy cane. I think that would be really cute. I just like things, I like sparkle at Christmas. So cute. Okay, so we have our bow here. And then to make it even more festive, I'm going to put some jingle bells on here. So let's see what colors I have. I've got gold and silver, red and green. So I'm thinking because of the candy cane, maybe red. What do y'all think? Let's do red and gold together. That looks cute. So instead of attaching these, I'm just gluing them. I'm putting the glue kind of near where the little hangers are. So I'm putting a nice little blob of glue. I like to glue the glue stick to the glue stick before it. So it doesn't pop out. Y'all do that? Just take your glue stick, like your glue stick you're putting in your glue, and just put a little tiny drop of glue on it and glue it to the glue stick that's in the gun already, because I get so annoyed when the glue stick plops out. So, oh, I forgot I was going to put it on the bell. Okay, so I'm going to put the glue right here, kind of a mound of it over where the hanger is for the bell. And then I'm going to kind of nestle it where it's kind of at an angle in the front of the bow. That'll be one of them. Yeah, do y'all know that technique? Okay, let me see what your question, let me see what you just said here. Okay, Nancy says, also, is Mod Podge enough to seal my decoupage signs when adding them to wreaths? Okay, if they're going to go outside, if they're inside, then Mod Podge is fine to seal your signs. But if your wreaths, Nancy, are going to go outside, I would suggest instead of doing the top coat with Mod Podge, I'm just kind of basically sandwiching these jingle bells together against the center of the bow, okay? But if it's going to go outside, anything you're going to make is going to go outside, you really should use a clear acrylic spray, because that's just more weatherproof. That's more weatherproof and waterproof than like a Mod Podge would be, okay? So just a clear poly acrylic spray. I like to use Rust-Oleum, and I like to use the one that's called Dead Flat, because it doesn't leave any kind of coating or anything. Like, it keeps my project still looking natural, just like they did. And that's great, because then you've weatherized it. It's going to hold up better to sun, to moisture, to all those things, okay? So I love this. This is so cute. So isn't that fun? Just sandwiching it all. And now I have this cute little bow. I think it looks adorable. And if these guys are kind of flaring or whatever, you just work them. You're the boss of the bow, okay? You are the boss of the bow. So you just turn and pull and make it however you need it to be. Okay? Isn't that going to be cute? I think these are just so cute. So look at them paired together. Ah, so cute. And I like that they jingle. Really, really fun. Okay. While I'm right here, I'm going to go ahead and coat these sides. That's our UPS man, by the way. You hear him? He is so funny. I love him. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side and let it dry, but isn't that just so beautiful on the natural wood? Do y'all think I should stickle the candy cane? I think I'm going to have to. I'm not going to do it right now, but I think I need to. I think it would look really, really cute. These napkins are not in the December bundle. These are their own little mini bundle. This is a mini bundle that you can buy without being a member of the Napkin Club, because I wanted to let you get have a taste, right? Like, get this little mini napkin bundle, try it out, see how you like it. The actual napkin bundles that get shipped out, the ones we're shipping right now, it's called Winter Wonderland. I named them.
Do you want to show me?
Because I love that. Yeah, if you have one, we can show it real quick. But there are a lot more napkins in those bundles, okay? And then in our private group, once you're a Napkin Club member, yeah, I'll show you what it looks like. This is what the bundle looks like right now. Look at that snowman and that reindeer. Oh, so cute. So this is what the bundle looks like when it gets shipped to you. We ship them in a poly bag. And then I teach workshops in our private group of things that are done with these napkins. And I teach all kinds of things in the group. And the Napkin Club girls will attest to this too. It's not all just about napkins. You're learning painting techniques. You're learning distressing techniques. You're repurposing. We do all kinds of fun things in there. Because I don't want to, I don't know. I'm a maker at heart. I love to make all kinds of things. So a lot of my loves cross over in the groups, okay? Do you seal painted sides and such, even if there's no napkin on it? I do, because I don't like to see where the Mod Podge kind of stops and starts. I want the finish to look the same all over all of it. And again, if it's going outside, you can spray it, okay? You can spray seal these if you wanted to, okay? You don't have to have a top coat of Mod Podge if you're gonna spray seal, all right? Just wanna make sure you know that. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. You're so sweet to say that. I know. I'm excited for everybody to get their bundles. This is going to be fun. Okay, I have another small block to show you. And I'm going to show you how I topped this one off, and we're going to talk about this one really quick. So this is another 3x4 block, and I just had fun kind of turning these into presents. I thought it was just so cute to kind of turn them into presents. So this one, literally, I did paint it white. I did paint it white because I wanted it to be white behind the napkin. This is the napkin that just says Merry Christmas all over it. And the reason I stuck it in here is, y'all, it looks like wrapping paper. I think I have bought wrapping paper before that looks like this, that has Merry Christmas all over it like that. And I thought, oh my gosh, I gotta show these girls how cute it would be to napkinize a block. I mean, I did the whole thing. I've just basically covered the entire block with the napkin, okay? Just like the technique I've been showing you with the Mod Podge, everything. And then I just took the ribbon around all the sides, right, just with hot glue. And then I made this cute little bow on top. So I want to show you how I made this little bow, okay? I don't think I need to show you this block because this was just kind of an extra bonus I just wanted you to see. So napkinizing all of this, right, the whole thing, just wrapped up like wrapping paper, just like you were wrapping a box, okay? And then I really liked making this little bow, and it's really, really super simple. So you want to learn another bow technique real quick? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, so this bow, basically we need 2 pieces to be tails. So I'm just gonna cut these in. I did do a flag end on the end of them. I like that. I like that type of end on a bow. I think it just looks really pretty. Y'all are gonna like this bow. Oops, forgot to do my top part. Well, there we go, that'll work. Okay, so we need 2 tails, and we're basically gonna make them look like an X. And if you want to, just to keep them from moving on you, go ahead and put just a tiny little drop of hot glue in between these. Now, I'm showing you the small scale, but this could be bigger scale for your packages and stuff like that too. This could be for a wreath, it could be for anything. And you're just gonna gauge how big you want your pieces to be depending on what size bow you wanna wind up with, right? So the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to make a loop. Let me see if that's about the right size. Okay, I think that's good size. So I'm making kind of a loop circle here. This is going to become the loops, adding, again, another little drop of hot glue. So I basically just made a ribbon circle, okay? Just a ribbon circle, really easy, easy breezy. And I'm gonna make another ribbon circle, but the second one, I want it to be smaller than the first one, okay? Just a little bit smaller than the first one. Just a little dot of hot glue to hold this together. So now I have two circles. I have a bigger circle and I have a smaller circle, okay? And by the way, you can do this with as many circles as you want. That's up to you. So now where I overlap them right here, that's gonna kind of become my center point. So where you overlap them, have that be your center point. I'm gonna put down another little drop of glue right here. And then I'm just going to smush this down. I'm gonna sandwich this down. So now it's gonna look like that, okay? Real simple, just like that. I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. So where they overlap, let that be the bottom. You don't want that to be seen in your loops. Okay, there's my second one. I'm probably gonna have to actually put this on something. You know what, I'll put it on this. No, I don't wanna put it on that. Okay, I'm just gonna put it on this block that was painted. This was painted, and this is the one that's gonna have the Merry Christmas napkin all over it. And I'm trying to save you some time. I know, I don't want this to be too long for y'all to watch. So I'm gonna put a little dab of hot glue right here. So just pretend like this block has napkin all over it. Actually, it's kind of cute, even just paint the blocks. You could paint them, and you know, maybe some of them have napkins on them and some of them don't. You can have some fun with it. So the X is going to go right here, right on the top. And then the next one is going to be the big loops. Again, hot glue. And I'm going to sandwich that one on right in the middle. And you can guess where the next one's gonna go. Right here. Now, I like putting things in my bows. So like if I'm gonna wrap a present or something, I like kind of nestling things, you know, in the bows. And so I wanna go back to this green stem stuff, y'all. I love this stuff. This is fun and it's cheap and inexpensive. You can put them in your Christmas packages, like with the bows on your Christmas packages or your gift bags. I'm gonna cut this down a little bit. And I'm gonna kind of fold it and make it look kind of cute in here. So I'm gonna run this across because I want, again, I want this to look cute on both sides of my block, right? So I'm gonna put some hot glue here. I could keep going with another loop. Like I could do even a smaller loop if you don't want to add anything extra in. And I'm going to talk to you about glue hairs. I don't think I've done that yet. So see how it's just kind of in there? Okay, it's bendable so you can shape it and make it all cute. And then I'm going to put in a couple of little mini pine cones. These little mini pine cones, or it could be any other kind of embellishment or something that you want. And kind of like the jingle bells, I'm doing two and I'm kind of sandwiching them together. So I'm gonna put kind of a nice little blob of glue right here in the center. And I'm gonna push these two pine cones kind of together into that blob. I'm just gonna hold them for a second. So they're kind of on at an angle. I better hold them another second. And it's just so pretty and so easy. Just a cute, easy, decorative ribbon bow. But you never have to tie a knot. Look how cute that is. Isn't that sweet? It looks cute on both sides. Now I'm going to show you something. Now remember how I told you that we could dust if we wanted to make the little pine stems look like they're frosted. I'm going to put a little bit of white paint on my brush here and take it off because I don't want much on here. So same thing, I can kind of just come in, and I like to do it after it's already on here, so it just kind of, I don't want to overdo it. I just kind of do areas so it looks like the frost just kind of hit the top of it. But watch the pine cones when you do this to the pine cones. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So you can come in and just dry brush some white paint on the edges of your pine cones, and it looks like they're kind of a little bit snowy. I'm just kind of pouncing some in a little bit. Can you see that? Isn't that cute? Look at this one. This one's already nice and dry, so you can kind of see. So see that white on the pine cone? Isn't it pretty? It just makes them look frosted and kind of snowy. Very cute. So just another easy, fun little accent. You can leave them brown and leave them natural if you want to, but it's kind of fun to dust them with just a little bit of paint. And then I decided to adorn my package with a cute little wood snowflake there. So that snowflake is glittery, even though I don't think the glitter's showing up on camera. Isn't it cute? So you can make packages, like you can take these wood blocks and make cute little presents with them and just use them as little shelf sitters everywhere. Or maybe everybody's coming over to your house for a Christmas party. Well, maybe not this year. It is pandemic. Okay, next year when there's no pandemic, if everybody's coming to your Christmas party, you could have a little wood Christmas present at their table setting. It could have a little tag with their name on it, and then that's a little fun take-home thing that they could take home and use to decorate in their house. Or your coworkers to put a cute little thing on their desks or something like that. Isn't it fun? So the paint looks really cute. Now you can also dust with a little bit of Stickles if you want to with a paintbrush, and then you just get a little bit of sparkle on the edges of things too. So anytime you want to add that sparkle, you can do that with your Stickles just by painting it. Really super simple. Okay, so yeah, plain old painted block, but look, after it's napkinized and you put the ribbon on, I think it's just absolutely adorable. Isn't that cute? Y'all like that one? Okay, I really like that one. All right, I got to keep us moving along. What time is it? 3:10. How does the time go by so fast? Okay. Well, do y'all want me to keep crafting these, or should I just walk you through them? I think you've seen enough of the napkinizing. I hate to keep y'all on too long. I know your time is really valuable, especially in December. So let me show you what I did on this one, okay? This is the 4x4 block. I really love this one. This is the 4x4 wood block, okay? And all I did is paint it. I just painted it out white. That's it. Just painted it white because my adorable little deer here is in white snow, and I wanted that white snow to stay really pure and white, okay? So after it was painted white, I napkinized both sides. Both sides with the napkin. I put the napkin on. You can see both sides, okay? Really super simple. He is sparkly. I don't know if you can see, but I have Stickles down here in the snow, okay? I have Stickles on top of these little snowballs that are falling from the sky. I stickled his cute little scarf. Okay, you can kind of see it. I wish I could just pass these things through the phone and just let y'all pass them around to each other so you could see them in person. That would be awesome. So what I did on this one is I wanted it to have more of a scarf look, okay? So I have this amazing ribbon, right? It's plaid. It's like it feels kind of flannelly, right? Little flannel. And even if you don't have a ribbon like this or you can't find one, it could even be flannel material. Like it could be material if you want to. The reason I like this though is it's wired. It's actually wired, you know, so it kind of holds its shape where it's going to be. And so after I napkinized the block and stickled and did all the stickles and all the things and let that dry, I literally wrapped the whole entire block with this adorable scarf looking, it looks like a scarf to me, like scarf looking soft flannel ribbon, okay? The whole thing, all the way around. And then I just tied off, I did the whole thing, and then I took a separate piece, and just tied it off in a knot. That is just a knot. Let me show you. Literally, it's a piece, and it's just tied off in a knot. But I didn't tie it super tight because I wanted that knot to stay kind of big like that. And then I did dovetail or flag end. I'm showing my age, I think, when I say dovetail. Everybody says flag end now, but we used to call it a dovetail. And because it has the wire in it, it's just cute because then you can kind of, you know, you can shape it and you can curl it and however you want. And then all I did is glue that on top and added a few, again, little sprigs, little pine stems, and my little pine cone, and dusted it with a white paint. Isn't it cute? You know, these things don't have to be hard. This would make such a fun little something gift to give to someone. And just enjoy it. Get your kids involved. If you have kids at home, and any age kids, this is really fun to do. If you have grandkids, if you're around grandkids or cousins or nieces or nephews or just neighbor kids or whoever, you can get everybody involved. It's really a lot of fun. Isn't that cute? I love him. He's so cute. Okay, so there's those two. So we have one more to make. And this one is going to go fairly fast, but I'm going to make this one because this one is our kit. It's the house series, the kit that we sell. Oh, by the way, that little snowflake, sometimes you can find these in, again, the little mini ornament section, and they have the little thing on the top, but these are really easy to cut off. You just cut them off, and then you can just use it as an embellishment. Okay, real simple. So this is our Christmas house. Will you go grab the Holy Night house for me? We have 2 house kits in our new series. We do a house DIY decor series, okay? It started with a house that says just, it's good to be home. We did a cute spooky house. We did a beautiful give thanks house. And we have 2 for Christmas. We have 2 that we've released for Christmas. One of them is our 'Twas the Night Before Christmas house. I think he's so cute. This is our Christmas house. Turned out really adorable. So I'm going to show you how I made that. And then the other house, because I'm a believer and I really wanted to do something that kind of documented the true meaning of Christmas for me. And so I did this house. This is a beautiful napkin of Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus in the stable and the beautiful Bethlehem star. And I think it just turned out adorable. So if you want something like that, just to have as a reminder for yourself or even to give as a gift or something, it's really cute. Now, I'm not going to make this one tonight. This one I'm going to make, I think I'm going to make this one on Monday night so everybody can watch how it's made. So I'm going to make this one on Monday night because I want you to see how I did the cute little, it almost looks like a thatched roof. Really fun and easy to make. These kits are $14. Make sure I'm saying that right. $14, and everything comes with it. The ribbon, the bells, the pine stems, everything comes with it, so that you can make these for yourself. So let me grab a house here. Or you can get a house by itself and make your own. You can make your own however you want to, okay? So again, let me show you. My little display is beginning to be a mess here. I'm going to have to put it all back together here in a minute. Okay. So with the house, I didn't paint it. And let me show you why. Because look at the napkin. The napkin already has this kind of blonde, aged look to it, the background. Well, look at the background of the block. It's almost exactly the same. So you could paint this if you wanted to, but you don't really have to. You could save your paint, okay? But if you want to paint it, please feel free, but you really don't have to. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half. Now, I did both sides because, and by the way, the full napkin comes in the kit as well. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. I did both sides because, again, I love tiered trays, and I love arranging things on levels and little vignettes in my home, and so I like for both sides to be pretty in case somebody catches a glimpse of it from a different angle. So let me fold this in half really quick. And you're going to leave your napkin just like this as a square when you get ready to put these on. So if there's any little edges, sometimes there's little edges, we sand these, but sometimes there'll be a little extra little edge there that you might need to sand off, a little sticky. I had a little piece on this corner, so I took that off. So I'm going to take off the plies of the napkin. I probably should have done this one first. I'm sorry. Probably should have done this one first. Okay, so let's get both plies off. There's not going to be any napkin on the sides, the edges, like the sides. It's just going to be on the front and the back. It actually goes together really fast. So back to my Mod Podge. And I'm going to apply my Mod Podge, nice healthy coat, over the entire front here. And I'm going to lay my napkin out. Now, it is a tight fit down here where it says not a creature was stirring. So you're going to go kind of from the edge of the N to the edge of the G. Okay, it's just gonna real tight fit, but it will fit. You might have to push in an edge here or there. Okay, and now I'm gonna pounce. Pounce, pounce, pounce. So let me show you. I did not like that I had that empty space up there above the top of the napkin. Okay, it bothered me. Like I was like, no, that bothers me. So I took from the other napkin, not this one, because we're gonna use that on the other side, but from my extra napkins here, I took and I cut off just this bird part with the branch right above where it says "'Twas the night before Christmas." And I put another little row, I put this kind of in that blank area up there. So another little bird and branch. And I just kind of moved it over a little bit so it wasn't right on top of each other. My Mod Podge is already drying, so let me add a little more. And because the background, again, is just gonna blend right in. I got part of a word here, let me get that off. I'm gonna just kind of embellish. I tore that one, so let me patch that one in. Perfect. So I added an extra branch and a bird up there. I just think it looks really good. You're not gonna be able to see where it stops and starts, especially once you get the top coat on. But to me, that just filled it in, and I just liked it so much better. So I liked filling in that little top edge right there. Go ahead and dry it. Y'all still with me? I know we've been crafting for a long time. It's a full-on workshop, just like if you were here with me. Just so many fun projects, and especially, you know, if you are going to fill up a tiered tray for Christmas or create some things that you want to give as gifts, you know, I wanted you to have several different ideas and options. Those of you that have been doing this for a while now, this is our third free workshop with the little mini napkin bundle. Tell me how you've liked it. Have you enjoyed it? Do you like getting the little mini bundle? I'm making plans for 2021, so I'm trying to get as much feedback as I can from people. I love that we have the replay option. I love that we can save these now on our pages, these Facebook Lives. So you can go back and watch the replay whenever you need to, whenever you get ready to create, you can kind of fast forward through whatever you need to do. Look how amazing that looks on the raw wood. Isn't that cool? I just think it looks so good. And do the other side really quick. And then we're just going to embellish. So just remember that not a creature is stirring. You want to try to get the both, even if you have to kind of push it in there, you want to get that edge of the N and the edge of the G on the block. Pounce it down. And then again, I'm going to add just that other little bird up here to the top. Doesn't even have to be the bird. You might have something on another napkin that you want to use. You can use whatever you want. I just wanted it to continue the same look. Or nothing. I don't know. It just bothered me being blank. It just looked a little too blank. Okay. Oh, thank you, darling. You're so sweet for saying that. Have y'all all sprinkled? Sprinkle again. The more times you sprinkle, the more times it's going to generate, put your name in the drawing for a free napkin bundle. So make sure you're sprinkling this out. It's been hard for me because I've missed teaching. I mean, obviously I teach online now, and I'm finally getting more used to it. But before, I have always taught in person, and so before the pandemic, so it's like it's really been neat. It's been very cool to meet so many new people from so many new places. I've enjoyed it a lot. And I promise not all the workshops in the Napkin Club are this long. I try to keep them about an hour. Sometimes we go over about an hour and a half. Look how good. Isn't it cute? Okay, so I'm not going to do the top coat right now. I'm going to go ahead. Now, I will be adding it, I promise. But I want y'all to pretend like I've already added the top coat of the Mod Podge. I'm going to move on because I want to show you in your kit. The kit will look like this. It'll have the little DIY decor kit label on it. I used my other napkin. You're going to have one of these pine stems that I've fallen in love with this Christmas. And you're going to have a little embellishment brag that's going to have ribbon and twine and some jingle bells in it. So go ahead and get all that stuff out. And we're going to work with the ribbon to start. So let me trim the ends. Make sure the ends are trimmed off nice and even. And I'm going to show you something that some of you may not realize you can do. Now I'm going to be putting ribbon around the edges of this. I love this ribbon. I like the gold stitching that runs through it. I think it's so pretty. Now, instead of using like hot glue sometimes can seep through your ribbons, right? Have y'all ever had that happen where it kind of seeps through or it discolors in places? I'm not sure if you know this, but you can use Mod Podge to attach your ribbon, okay? So let me squeeze a little bit more Mod Podge on my plate. So the first thing I'm going to do is coat this whole side of my house with Mod Podge, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and go up one side of the roof as well, right here, okay? Just these two spots for now. Put a healthy little coat of Mod Podge on there. And I'm gonna start with the red. I think isn't the red that what I did? Yeah, I did red, green, red. Okay, and then I did a green bow. So I'm gonna start with the red, and I'm gonna place it right here right at the edge. Okay, lay it into the Mod Podge and go down the side of this house. And now I'm not gonna cut it, but I'm taking the other end, okay? This other end right here. Don't cut it because we want it to be continuous. But while the Mod Podge is wet, take the other tail, the other end, right along the other edge of the house. Press it down into the Mod Podge. So let me show you what that looks like. Just press it down, and then we're just going to hold it for a second. You can kind of use your fingers to kind of run across it. The friction from your fingers sometimes actually helps set the Mod Podge, dry the Mod Podge. And then if you need to, if you feel like you need to in a spot, I mean, you could add some hot glue, but you really don't. You don't need to. If you'll just be patient for a minute. Have you ever Mod Podged ribbon, any of you, before? You can do it. I'm not going to put it over the top, just on the bottom. It just works like a glue. Now, don't worry too much about this rooftop. We're going to talk about it in just a second. But while this is all still wet, I'm going to put the green, and the green is going to run down right in the middle. So you're going to see a little bit of your house in between. I may have to put more Mod Podge on the roof part. Let's just do one section at a time. Okay, so do you see? You can see part of the block in between. So use the red right on both the edges. I gotta add some more Mod Podge here. And then run the green right down the middle. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold this up. So I need to slide my green over a little bit. Okay, there we go. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I have it somewhat even. Okay, so don't worry if it gets a little bit uneven. We're gonna put a bow up there anyway, okay? And then just kind of rub over it, just the friction. Sometimes the friction, the heat from your hands can cause that to set. It's really super simple. So simple, y'all, okay? And now I'm just gonna continue going down on the other side. Now that I have this, like this though, I can go ahead and just cut that at the ends. So now I have those ends. Now you're gonna have some extra green here because we're gonna make a bow from the green. So let me lift these back, and I'm gonna add my Mod Podge. But this way I don't get the bumpy mess of the glue. It doesn't alter the look of my ribbon at all. Put the red ones down and then the green. Okay. Got a little piece right there. Okay, and I'm just gonna kind of hold it as I go. You want the link for the mini kit? Okay, we'll post that for you for the mini kit for the napkins, the mini bundle. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, they're so cute. And then we'll post the link for the houses too if you want a house kit. All right, so I'm gonna keep working my way down.
You can shop this link and it has all the stuff on it.
Oh, Kristen said you can shop the link and it has all the stuff there. Everything that I've been showing.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I did not put the ribbon on the bottom of the house. I left that alone. So once this is set up on this side, I'm going to be just trimming this to the end because I was afraid I didn't want it to be too like wobbly or shaky, so I did not put any ribbon on the bottom of the house. So let me just kind of hold this up while that sets up. Just be patient. It's not going to grab as fast as hot glue does, but it actually grabs pretty quickly. And now I'm just going to trim these off. Oops. Okay. That one I moved that one. That one moved on me a little bit when I trimmed it. Okay, there's our pretty ribbon covered sides of the house. Isn't that cute? So super simple. All right, so now all I have left to do is I'm gonna add a little bit of a bow. We're gonna make another one of those, another bow this time, kind of repeating one that we did early on. So I'm gonna take a little bit of baker's twine. I'm going to do red and white baker's twine. Oh, I forgot this is in the kit. I already had it cut. So I have my red and white baker's twine, and I have the remaining piece of my green here. Okay, so I'm going to do this one is easy because both sides of the ribbon look the same. Okay, so I'm just going to make a loop and another loop and another loop. Oh, I made the loop too big. Okay, let's make it a little bit smaller. You want to wind up with 4 loops. So a loop, and a loop, and a loop. That's perfect. Okay? And I kind of like it when the loops don't all have to be the same size. Do you see how they're different? Some are a little bit longer than others. Really easy like that. And then I'm going to tie my twine around these loops. Tie it off really nice and tight. And then tie another knot. And then we can kind of fuss with the bow, spread out the loops, the tails. I'm just going to cut a slant cut in each tail. Okay, and it's going to get hot glued up here on the house. Let's see, which side of the house? I think I'm going to do this side. So just a nice little blob of hot glue. Okay, you see that? Just a nice little blob of hot glue right there, kind of on one side of the house. You can decide which side, right or left, I don't care. Okay, now we're gonna take our jingle bells. Don't worry about the glue hairs. We're gonna take our jingle bells and thread them through. I need to cut this one off. It's kind of coming down. Cut that off. There we go. I'm going to thread all 3 through one tail, okay? We're going to make a cluster. All right, One more. See if I can get him through here without being... There we go. Okay, so they're all down this one tail. So let them all just kind of fall down, okay, just like that. And then take the two tails together, and it won't matter where you do this, just tie it super tight. Super tight, and look what happens. It just makes this perfect little cluster. Perfect, perfect, cute little cluster. And then you can tie that off in a double knot if you want to. I kind of like to tie another bow and then let the bow kind of go down in between the jingle bells. And then of course you can tie off a knot if you want to in each tail. I didn't leave myself much on this one. Let's see if I can get a knot in there. I don't even think I can get a knot in that one. Okay. Look how cute that is. It just makes the perfect little cluster right in the middle of your cute little loopy bow. And that is your Christmas house. It's that easy. It's so easy to make. Of course, if you want anything to be sparkly, you can come in and add your Stickles or a Wink of Stella, a brush pen. The Wink of Stella brush pen, it adds shimmer without glitter. So if you don't like glitter, you could add shimmer. But I kind of like the glitter. I tend to go more stickly for Christmas because it's just more sparkly and cute. So that is your Christmas house. Isn't it cute? And it's just right there on the raw wood. There's something about it being on the raw wood. I just think that is adorable. Isn't that cute? So, so fun. So let's look at this one. Couple of things a little bit different with this one, okay? Because we're not quite finished. This one, I did take some ink and I inked around the edges, okay? So if you want it to have a little bit more of that kind of vintage look, you can take any brown ink. I used a chalk ink, okay? And just inked around the edges here before I put the top coat on, the sealer, okay? And then I thought it was kind of fun to actually do the pine around the bottom. And this was just hot glued on. So you're gonna have your little pine stem here. And you can just start off, you know, with a piece if you want kind of a little piece in the front, a little piece in the back. Or you can wrap the whole thing. You can wrap the whole thing around. You'll have a little bit of extra right here. So let me just kind of wrap this whole thing. Let me cut off this little tiny little extra piece. Because this little extra piece might even look cute. Put a little hot glue on it. I'm gonna stick it right there, that little tiny extra piece right up there in my jingle bells. Because why let it go to waste, right? All right, and I'm gonna take this was easier for me if you take your block off the table, off the edge of the table. And I'm gonna start with just a nice line of hot glue down here at the bottom. Now I'm gonna put it on its side because I don't want it to cover up there. I don't want it to cover up too much of my words right there. So if you need to, you can even go in and give it a haircut. But if you kind of turn it on its side a little bit, the little sprigs, or what do you call these? Needles, whatever you call them. I don't know. They kind of go outward instead of upward. And then I just keep gluing all the way around the base of the house. I just think it's so cute. All right, there we go. And then I just kind of push it down. Once it's standing up, I just kind of pushed it down a little bit because I wanted to be sure that I could still see all of my not even a mouse, my little words down here. Okay? You see, isn't that cute? You'll just kind of push it down. Just kind of put it against the table and push it down. And I just think it looks so cute. It's just cute, just so cute sitting there in the cute little pine stem around the bottom. Do y'all like that? I think it looks really, really darling. So that is the Christmas house. So super easy to do, really fun to create. So one thing I did want to tell you is you're going to be using the hot glue gun a lot this Christmas. We just do. As crafters, we're using the hot glue constantly. Glue hairs drive me crazy, and instead of trying to pick them all off, okay, this is a great little tip. If you have your heat tool or even your blow dryer, it needs to be on hot, right? Have it on hot. But if all you have to do is just heat those glue hairs up and they disappear. They literally just evaporate. Like, I'm sure it's not good for the environment. I don't know where they go. But they just completely disappear. So the heat tool, so like if you're a wreath maker or you're doing things where you're using a lot of hot glue, I always go back to thinking like when I made the girls' homecoming mums and all that stuff, just all that hot glue and all the glue hairs, you can just zap them away. So you don't have to sit there and spend all that time picking them off. Just use your heat tool or your hot setting on your blow dryer and just put it where they are. And literally they just, I don't know where they go. They just disappear. They just evaporate. They just disappear. They're so fun. So such a fun tip, I think. Okay. All right.